Vanakkam, Namaste and blessings to everyone. This is Dr. Bairavee Balasubramaniam PhD, the Sky Priestess. Over the next 26 hours, we are going to be seeing Mercury stationing retrograde in Pisces, Uranus settling into Taurus, and this immense Pisces New Moon at 15 degrees Pisces, conjunct Neptune and Vesta. So this is an incredible time for anyone who is navigating any particular chapter on their psychic or spiritual journey, whether you are a facilitator, whether you are seeking healing, it doesn't matter. Whether you even recognize the existence of the spiritual world, it does not matter, for you are still in its vibration. So let us talk a little bit about these three major planetary movements and what they mean for us as a collective. Let's start with Mercury retrograde at 29 degrees Pisces. 29 degrees Pisces is known as the anaretic degree. It is quite possibly the most karmically intense point of the zodiac. And when we have a Mercury retrograde beginning at that point, it means that we are bringing back, we are being asked to revisit that cumulative weight of collective karma and spiritual experience. Over the next few weeks, we are really going to be asked to go deeper and deeper into ourselves to discern what is truly our most aligned expression and experience of spiritual energy, which is the positive side of it. The negative side of it, depending on how we manifest it, is that there can be a lot of confusion in one's spiritual path and journey. There can be a lot of emotional and mental imbalances and disturbances that keep coming up until you're willing to go and look deeper into a situation at play. I'm keeping this brief because there's a lot to cover. Now, Uranus settling into Taurus is its own amazing energy. The Uranus and Taurus energy is going to revitalize and rekindle our connection with our bodies, with the physical matrix that exists on this beautiful planet and all beings that are manifest upon it. We are going to be developing a deeper relationship with the organic cycles of the earth, of Gaia consciousness, of the energy of plants and animals with whom we share this biosphere. There's going to be it started already, but there's going to be such a huge wave of a return to nature that is going to be carried out all across the planet. So for those of you who've been saying this for decades, your time is here, your moment has come. You are going to grow and grow and grow. Plant trees, save the planet, hold people who don't save the planet and to continue dirtying it accountable. All of that energy is also coming out at the same time. So on the one hand, Mercury is asking us to do this deep inwards pull, and Uranus and Taurus is just coming through and filtering the waves with these new vibrations of healing and manifestation. Now, when both of these come together, it's very interesting because it gives us the opportunity to really sit and think about how we manifest and what is this bridge between spirit and matter that is formed. Very often we think about manifestation as something that comes from our conscious mind, but this is not the case. We are multidimensional beings. Our conscious self and personality is yay small, and what is the rest of us in realms seen and unseen is huge. So as we manifest with the entirety of our beings. The Mercury retrograde in Pisces alignment helps us to go further within, however, whichever part of the body you identify that innermost space with, to go within and to actually align with the new frequencies of Uranus that are coming through. It is not something to be done from here. In other words, our minds are important, but they are our tools. They are not the origin and ending points of our spiritual identities and practices. Now, the third thing that is happening is this phenomenal Pisces New Moon at 15 degrees Pisces. This is a very pivotal moment for all of us. For far too long, we have been romanticizing karma, drama, trauma, sacrifice, martyrdom. We have been romanticizing this idea that somehow to be a spiritual being, you have to be ground to dust. There is a balance in all things. Helping a person with compassion is a wonderful thing, but equating suffering with true service is not the same. That is a distortion of the martyr archetype that has already happened. And at this time, we are especially asked to revisit our spiritual alignments, our contracts, our spiritual identities, and the ways in which we have aligned to older ideas of sacrifice and service that have no place in the reality that is unfolding. Very often you will see people who, I want to introduce this term with in this video that I came across a few weeks ago. Very often you see communal narcissists, people who appear to be doing spiritual work or just appear to be these great people in community doing this and doing that and doing that. But the way they actually get their work done is by drawing energy and dehumanizing others into as resource banks for them to feed off. So the public appearance may be this great suffering warrior martyr, but the energy is completely different. So I want you guys to look up the concept of communal narcissism, especially if you are suffering or struggling with this idea of what kinds of pathways of service can I let go of? Are these pathways coming from my soul? Are they coming from ego? Are they coming from karmic patterns that I am ready to let go of? Whatever comes up, don't judge it, don't shame it, don't shame yourself, don't shame others. Meet it with clarity and compassion, because that is the way forwards. Now a little bit more on navigating karmic contracts. It is too easy for us to belittle ourselves and our unique sacred birthright as co-creative forces in the universe in the name of service. That is how the energy of service has been distorted over time. We have so many of us are living in contracts where we have allowed ourselves to become energetic batteries for causes, philosophies, paradigms, religions, spiritual pathways that do not honor this sacred co-creative essence. This too is coming to an end if you allow it to be so. The reason I say allowance is because the Sun and Moon are conjunct each other in Pisces, but they are also conjunct Neptune and Vesta. And there is going to be a greater and heightened impulse to romanticize this suffering and the karmic cycles that have underpinned it from the past. And sometimes giving up that identity can be, it can be absolutely painful. For someone who has identified their spiritual path in terms of suffering, asking them to give up that relationship of suffering is going to hurt like heck. So that unwillingness to experience that pain of releasing and ending an old sense of self or an old cycle in itself can push a spiritual seeker to pathways of delusion that make them see what they want to see rather than what is there. As Neptune and Vesta come together, what happens is that we have this opportunity to be of true sacred service by simply opening ourselves to spirit, by not holding on to our human ways or even karmic patterns of understanding what service looks like. But at the same time, if you really want to go back to the old ways, this is a time where you can also anchor your reliance and adherence to that. Is that going to be in alignment with what's happening in the universe? Not so much, but you're going to figure it out on your own time. So, Sun, Moon, Neptune, Vesta. Release pathways of service that no longer align. Allow yourself to access that unconditional, immutable, absolute connection with spirit within, because you are, I am, we are, each and every one of us is powerful, is graceful, is humble, is beautiful. Each one of us can manifest so much magic and miracles in the world by simply remembering our divine birthright and essence. Remember, service does not have to be about grinding yourself down. It can be about expanding your field so that you create it's almost like an area effect where others also benefit without losing out at the same time. Think about the sun. It's doing its own thing. It is the life giver. It is the life source. We're not actually taken from it, and yet we are benefiting from it at the same time. Now, I went back into my software and I tried to see when the last time we had this alignment was, and as far as I have checked, if you have found something, let me know. As far as I've seen, the closest that we've had to this alignment happened in February 1852 with the Birkenhead incident, where a ship basically run aground of some rocks off the coast of South Africa, and the sailors realized that there were not enough lifeboats. So in this very dignified and honorable kind of way, which is to be commended, they actually let the women and children get off the ship, and they basically stood there very calmly as if they were just doing a normal disembarkation, and let the others escape and survive. This is a very pure example of what that Piscean energy can look like. It doesn't come from a place of a lack of self-worth. It comes from a place of dignity and integrity, and that is the true and ancient meaning of sacrifice that used to be. Nowadays, the concept is distorted. People are encouraged to play the sacrificial victim card whilst expecting a return of some kind. That doesn't work. Look up the Birkenhead incident, and if you were inspired by it the way I was inspired by it, that alone will help you align to the purity of the Piscean energy as it is coming through right now. I would say that's what I have to say at present. And as always, these energies are very intense. They have been since 2012. If you are feeling unstable or insecure, find a safe space to be. If you are feeling suicidal, reach out for help. If you're feeling like you just cannot do anything, you cannot function, it is perfectly okay to find friends, facilitators, or organizations who can help you, but do remember to honor their time as well. Everyone has their own stuff going on. So beyond that, rest, sleep, do your thing, and stay in alignment as you can. Remember to lead with, for lack of a better term, lead with the heart as it reaches into our innermost depths of spirit, and you will find your way. Take care. Many blessings. Ciao, ciao for now.